as this everything, and I mean it. I mean everything that Zack Snyder puts out, every information he released completely boggles my mind. How much it just keeps blowing us away. Like our minds are blown every time he releases something. It's like we think it's something and it's something else. And this movie, I'm completely like I'm so infatuated, and I really want to see this thing, because this thing, it's a completely different movie. It has so much information here, so much homage, and so much things and aspects about it, that they really simplify this thing into a 2 hour basic cartoony Justice League movie. And so I'm just saying, when I post these things, because I want to show you how interesting it is, how interesting it could be for detractors, mainly for people who are like, it's just going to be the same. I want to say, no, I think it's going to be a lot different. I think there's going to be so much in this that a lot of people can gather from DC fans to action fans to drama fans to all these type of people, and there's something to be loved in here. There's something to be interested in enough that piques your curiosity. I mean, wouldn't you want to see Darkseid? Wouldn't you want to see, Flash go back into time for a bit? Wouldn't you want to see all these different aspects? There's probably a huge final battle involving Superman that we have not even scratched the surface of. This could be something that the final battle was completely butchered. There's something there. It's completely hidden, and I don't know if that means it's not finished, and that's where most of the money needs to be done on that part, or that it's so incredible and hidden that Zack Snyder doesn't want to even reveal that until the movie actually comes out. So that really piques my interest. That there's little things like the whole Green Lantern thing. Whether that's Coast City or that's ship or whatever, just the mere fact that he mentions Green Lantern so secretly without saying much means that he's hinting that there's more stuff in here, that it's so intriguing that it's gotta pique the Snyder fans and DC fans and the audience, if they know about it, and just really pique their interest that this is something that they like to see. They just want to see it, and I want to see it. And I think that speaks great volumes that this movie could be very successful with release. And I want to maybe get into just a little thing, since this is going to be a podcast more than news things. But I know people going back and forth about how we can show Warner Brothers that we want this thing, and there's just two things in a way. That's money, three things: money, interest, and ego of the studio. I believe the money thing can be, that can be accomplished depending on how much interest the studio thinks that this thing is getting, and the ego thing is something altogether. I think the first two can be solved right away. I think maybe even already solved. Ego is the one that has to be trumped. I think ego gets in the way of seeing money, gets in the way of business, and I think that part is actually affecting this not being able to release a Snyder Cut the most. At least that's what we're not hearing it officially anyway and publicly announced, but from within the community, I guess, that the ego, I think, is the biggest hurdle that they'll have to face, because generating interest or knowing how much interest, getting analytics and things like that in order to see how much money this will make, I think all of that is manini, because that means movies can't get released unless they get some type of interest, right? And that's not true because movies are made every day. Movies are made every month without a lick of knowing if this will interest people at all. They get a script, the execs look at it, I like it, what do you think? Let's green light it, let's make it, what's the budget? They know all that ahead of time. They don't go out and do Twitter feeds and asking people, hey, do you want to see a movie about, I don't know, a shark in a tornado? Like, do you think, they have these algorithms, they have this general interest that they can release a film or make a film or finish a film because they have that data already. I don't think we need to actually, this is my own opinion, okay, just letting you know, my own opinion, that I don't think they need to know if this movie, a movie will be successful because they do it all the time. They make movies to make money without even a clue if it's going to be successful. They have a gauge. They're like, well, there's a Marvel characters in it. It's probably going to make money, right? They made Iron Man without wondering if it's going to make money. They thought, well, it's not, but it made money. It was successful. They made 4 films later, without even going on, trying to find analytics and things like that. So if you look at it that way, with the amount of social media interest in the Snyder Cut, a studio would have to see that and say, yeah, there is interest in that little social media. I say little in regards to billions of people. That much has to equate to this much amount. But I don't think they're even looking at that. Just knowing that there is an interest is better than not knowing there wasn't any interest at all before they even greenlit any other film in the history of movies. Okay, they don't do that. They once they believe they got a good script, they got a green light and everything, they put it out, and they put out director's cuts. They put it out all the time without a lick of interest. But once they got this, Snyder Cut has a big interest. It'd be stupid for Warner Brothers not to do this. The only reason I believe they're not doing it is because of one man, and that man is Toby Emmerich and his ego. That is the only hurdle in the way of this releasing. And to even prove that point, I told many people before, I talked to Zack Snyder at the Snyder Con, and he pretty much said it's up to Warner Brothers to release it. It's just up to Warner Brothers to release it. Keep the pressure. He even said there are not many original decision makers left. So that tells me, 1, it's not about the money. 2, it's not about the interest. 3, it's all about that ego. It's all about the last original decision maker of Justice League. His name is Toby Emmerich. Once that's out of the way, we're going to have our Snyder Cut. So that's what my opinion and my thoughts are. I don't care if you believe that, or I don't care if you think that's true or not. That's just me, and that's what I believe, and that's what I continue to believe. And hopefully, our pressure will keep the pressure up. And I'm not trying to give false hopes or anything like that, because I just want to make sure that we continue to fight for it. I think, but I mean, it's always keep an open mind. Stay positive, keep an open mind. The trades are sometimes wrong, and they're sometimes right. We won't know until the actual official word, which is Warner Brothers. So let's keep an open mind. Let's keep fighting. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Keep supporting Project Comic-Con, because they're doing incredible wonders by showing more public and getting more public interest in it. Having the public outside our bubble demand it as well is a good thing. Having detractors get inspired by our movement is another great thing. And all these lead up hopefully to a big pressure to someone up there at Warner Bros. To say, hey, Toby Emmerich, get rid of your ego. We're about to make some moolah with this thing, or two, Toby Emmerich, get the hell out of this studio. We need somebody else who is really who really has love for auteur filmmaking and can also make giant blockbusters as well.